every single aspect of your life is controlled by some higher power, where you're under constant surveillance, or where normal feelings are forbidden to be felt. This kind of world is perfectly captured in George Orwell's novel titled 1984, which was published in 1949. As the title suggests, the novel is set in 1984, which was known to be a time of great tension and political rivalry between countries around the world and what they believed. In his book, the author paints a picture of the dangers of a dictatorship in society and reflects on this political tension of the time period. More specifically, he explores major themes of manipulation and oppression of individuals and how this can suck the life out of people and the places in which they live. So, let's place ourselves in this dystopian reality, observing life through the eyes of the main character, Winston Smith, as I read to you the opening scene of the novel from Chapter 1, Part 1. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of it, a colored poster, too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. It depicted simply an enormous face, more than a meter wide, the face of a man about 45 with a heavy black mustache and ruggedly handsome features. Winston made for the stairs. There was no use trying the lift. Even at the best of times, it was seldom working, and at present, the electric current was cut off during daylight hours. The flat was 7 flights up, and Winston, who was 39 and had a varicose ulcer above his right ankle, went slowly, resting several times on the way. On each landing, opposite the lift, the poster with the enormous face gazed from the wall. It was one of those pictures which are so contrived that the eyes, they follow you with every move you make. Outside, even through the shut window pane, the world looked cold. Down in the street, little eddies of wind were whirling dust and torn paper into spirals, and though the sun was shining and the sky a harsh blue, there seemed to be no color in anything, except the posters that were plastered everywhere. That black, mustached face gazed down from every commanding corner.
And how was this one for you?
This one was pretty good. I wasn't as nervous. I feel like I'm getting more used to speaking up here in front of everyone. And I thought I kind of liked reading off of a script, reading something aloud. I thought that was something I've never done before, so it was quite interesting to do that.
Okay. All right. Audience, if you could, offer some feedback.
I really like the introduction, specifically just reading it when you were reading it. I'm not really exactly what it really was just imagining it was
You did a good use of transitions. I knew your intro and then how you started your the passage or the.
Everybody on your team, Paul?
I thought you had a really good speaking voice and commanded the room. It's nice. You had a really good pace with you.
Okay. Emma. Sort of parroting what Emma said. I thought you did a nice job with your introduction as well. I think you laid out the themes of the book pretty clearly, so that we could hear and see what it was that you were going to be talking about and sharing with us. So I think that was nicely done. I might say just connect it to yourself just a little bit. Have sort of a sentence in there that sort of makes it clear what impact it's had on you. Would be my suggestion. I thought you did a nice job clearly identifying when your introduction ended and when then you started reading. It was a clear transition between those two, which was really quite effective. I thought you did a nice job. There was an intentionality behind the pace of your reading, and I think that it's important in a text like this because it's kind of dark and kind of dreary, and so I think your tone captured that just a little bit. You could probably go just a little bit farther with it, but I think that you did a nice job sort of keeping that pace and that volume and sort of that tone. Because it wasn't light and cheery, and so you didn't make it sound light and cheery, and so I think that was appropriate. Eye contact was okay, and you definitely were good about it within the introduction, so kind of stayed connected with us. I might say just try and keep your weight evenly distributed on those 2 feet while you're speaking. I know it's hard, it's a challenge, but you can do it. All right, thank you.